Good morning everyone, welcome back to another episode of Savanna Stay-at-Home Safaris. A little bit cloudier this morning, which is good news for us. It's a little bit warmer, not much, but it's not freezing like it has been over the last 3 or 4 days. Not quite sure what the plan is for the morning. Maybe go check around the northern part of the property around the Sand River and see if maybe the lions have come back. But we'll keep an eye out for anything exciting and we'll see what we can get. So we've seen this hyena coming out of one of our dry riverbeds, and down in the riverbed was a couple of different alarm calls, and he's definitely heard something and started trotting off into this direction. Very often when hyenas hear alarm calls from other animals, it's a sign that potentially a leopard is in the area and potentially has made a kill. So we'll follow him quickly and see if he takes us somewhere. So a lovely little group of elephants here, looks like about 10 or so. Always fantastic to see them greeting each other. They walk down and stick their trunks inside the other one's mouth. And if you heard that baby giving quite a large cry there or call, was trying to come and suckle from mom, but mom was moving between different bushes, so as she was moving the baby was telling her that she wanted to suckle. It's always fantastic to see the grey heron sitting on top of the hippo. Quite often the hippo will move around along the ground there, and then that will lift up different types of food for the fish, and so fish often spend a lot of time around the hippos like that, and he's probably trying to be opportunistic there and try and grab one of them that are around the hippo. So this is one of our big resident bull giraffes. We see him very often around the new causeway and right along the Sand River. Yeah, he's getting very old at the moment. He's missing one of his ears, has been torn off. There's a slight injury on his front right leg at the moment. So could be anywhere from 25 to 30 years old, but he's always a very impressive specimen to see. You'll see that he's busy chewing the cud at the moment. So he swallows the cud, you can actually watch it go down in the giraffe, and then you'll see him regurgitate it and it'll come back up, and you can actually see it going up and down his neck like that, which is always pretty interesting to see. It's always a lovely surprise when we're on our way back to camp, and just as we get to George's Dam in front of the camp here, we find a lovely herd of Cape buffalo, probably close on 100 here. We've also got a couple of elephant bulls up along the edge of the camp there, so it seems like the south and around Savanna has actually been quite productive this morning. We haven't had the buffalo very much over the last few months, which is quite surprising. We've got very good grazing down here in the south, as well as we had very good rainfall last year and last season, so lots of good grass for them. So hopefully they'll stick around for a few days. That also might mean that it could entice a couple of the prides of lions to come down here, especially the Munguen pride, who really enjoy hunting buffalo. but always a fantastic sight seeing these buffalo. Good afternoon, folks. Myself and Ali back out again. We pretty quickly driven out of camp and bumped into the large herd of buffalo again. They're just a little ways north of the camp. They've been settling down for most of the day, it looks like, with this very windy weather that we've had. But nonetheless, good to see them. You'll see that there is there's quite a few babies in this herd at the moment. Most of them would have been born during the summer months, somewhere between November and February, when it's our hottest and when the grass is the greenest and the highest. So the females should be getting pregnant shortly again, and hopefully we'll have another good breeding season this year. Alrighty folks, so on a day like this where we've got a lot of cloud, the wind's been picking up quite a bit, we do tend to have more quieter kind of days, a little bit harder to find the predators, but one advantage is that these prides of lions as well as leopard and that can do a lot of moving during the daytime because it's not hot. And that looks like exactly what the Ottawa pride has done today. This morning they weren't on the property that we could see, they hadn't come back onto our concession. And they've actually walked quite a distance already into the property, so probably during the middle of the day today when it was nice and cool, potentially out looking for some prey and hunting, but fantastic that we got to see them. So from what we can tell, we've got 6 members of the pride here. One of the older lionesses, the younger lioness, and then the 4 cubs. It seems that we are missing the Matimba male and the older, one of the older lionesses. Not uncommon for them to separate sometimes, especially if the pride has moved a long distance during the day. The Matimba is getting on in age now and doesn't particularly like walking all day like the pride does, as well as the other older lionesses. With that injury that she's had for about 2 years now on her front right paw, also doesn't tend to want to walk huge distances in the middle of the day. So not uncommon for them to separate and will potentially join up again in the next couple of days. So you'll see the 2 lionesses are leading the way here. They've got up and they've both lifted their nose up to smell, and the wind is definitely coming from our south and east. So there's a good chance that they've smelt something down here in front of them. Doesn't look like they've eaten particularly recently, so again, one of the massive benefits of having a cloudy day like this is that you get prides of lions out on the hunt. It's only just gone 5 o'clock, so we'll spend some time with them and see if they bump into something for us. That all happened pretty quickly. We were just following the pride through the bush here, and all of a sudden a troop of banded mongooses decided that they were going to spread out, and a few of them came out of their hole and ran away. So the lions had a go at them, but then missed. And as they've come, you'll see the 4 youngsters sitting right around this termite mound, busy investigating. You can hear the mongoose there alarm calling or shouting. It almost sounds like he's actually laughing at them. But then all of a sudden there was one that was hiding in the grass, and it managed to bolt or in between the 4 lions and actually get back down into the hole. And at one point you had all 3 lions with their paws on top of the hole there. So it was very close, but unfortunately they didn't get anything. But great learning lessons for the cubs, and this is exactly how these lions learn how to hunt. So let's carry on following them. They seem a bit hungry today. So definitely picked up on something in this area behind us now. One of the lionesses looked quite far south of us and has gone around. Another big lioness waiting here for a little bit. So definitely could be something up in front of us here. We can't see anything, it's very thick, but we'll just keep listening and maybe they chase something through this block. Alright folks, there's a herd of impala, big herd of impala up in front here. Their ears are quite up in that. What's happened is that lioness has gone right around the back of them, and they're going to struggle to hear at the moment, but the wind will be blowing their scent towards them, so hopefully they'll run back this way. We've got a lioness right up in front of us, and then the cubs are just behind us here now, so we'll just see what. Alright folks, so it seems that they've unfortunately missed that herd of impala. They gave it a good go, and but just this time unfortunately couldn't flush the impala back towards where the rest of them were lying. But luckily actually the Matumba male and the other older lioness have actually joined back up, obviously just hanging back, as we mentioned a bit earlier, a little bit slow, so by the time the pride started moving we just couldn't see them quite a ways behind them. So good to see the whole pride together, and they're still continuing a little bit longer hunting at the moment, so we'll keep an eye out and see if they spot anything else. Alright everyone, I think this is where we're going to leave the Ottawa pride. They seem to be settling down around this large dam, so thank you for joining us for another episode. A nice lovely morning filled with lots of general game, and then a beautiful surprise of the Ottawa pride out on the hunt. Definitely the first time I've ever seen them trying to catch a mongoose, which was pretty exciting, and then lovely to see them drinking as well. So Hopefully we'll see you all again tomorrow, and thanks for joining us again.